And we are back. Thank you for tuning in. I am Wizard in Control. He is Sean Day9 Plot. And we want to thank you guys for tuning into the SC2L. We do have a match tomorrow, by the way. Mark your calendars. It is the European-friendly broadcast time, if I'm not mistaken. I think we are... Yeah? No? No broadcast tomorrow? Never mind. I take everything I just said back. It's actually so European-friendly that there's not even anything for you guys to worry about.
Yeah, guys, just take the day off, you know? That's friendly to Europe for sure, man. You guys are working too hard.
Were you stressed about watching that? Don't. Go eat some goat cheese or whatever the hell you do.
I love goat cheese.
Polish and shave your clogs. Things like that. We will, of course, be on hiatus because over the weekend we do have PAX Prime coming down. So if you're in the Seattle area, do come say hi. Day9, are you attending PAX?
I am not.
Not this time?
I will be in Los Angelesville.
Are you able to share with us what you're doing in Los Angeles?
Reclining.
Just reclining. Okay. So if you want to see a reclined Day9, you just somehow find him in Los Angeles. If you want to see us at PAX, we will have several EG professional StarCraft 2 players battling it out at the Kingston booth. So do come say hi. And one of those pro gamers will be Machine, so you have a really good chance of actually winning some gear off of our squad. Definitely check it out. But we're going to get this game underway. We have Heart taking on Masa.
Oh, it's funny. It's going to be Derelict Watcher, Terran versus Terran. As we were saying earlier, Masa is a real ace in this matchup. Excited to see if he has some neat builds in store. Took down Snoot in one of the early weeks, QXC in one of the mid weeks. Yeah. Heart is probably going to be his biggest challenge yet. So, up in the top right-hand corner from Team Axiom, he's already played once in this best of 7. This is his second time out. Would love to not go 0-2. It is Axiom's Heart. And down in the bottom left-hand corner, the ace, the surprise sniper from Team ROOTGaming, it is Masa.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting to talk about Heart. I actually rate his TVZ very high. I always have, even back in Wings of Liberty, where I feel like TVZ was a harder matchup. He made it look quite easy. He was very strong in it. And no cheese needed. He's very mechanically sound. His strategy was strong. He was just a very strong TVZ player. But then I looked at his TVP, and I was not that impressed. And that kind of dragged my overall opinion of him down. But then when you see his TVT, it's not quite on the same level as his TVZ as far as I'm concerned, but it's quite good as well. So that's a really long-winded way of me saying I think we have a pretty cool match on our hands because Masa, for one reason or another, finds the TVT matchup to be pretty awesome because he's very good at it.
Yeah, I mean, and going for gas first versus Heart's barracks first, is Heart going to get another gas? Yes, there's the gas going down, so this is going to wind up being a very interesting matchup. I mean, going for the gas first always results in a lot of aggression from Masa's side of things, so I eagerly look forward to seeing if he's going to be going for...
What do you think? I mean, it used to be Cloakless Banshee when you went gas first. Is that what we're... is it Cloakless Banshee, or is it just a faster factory? What does he do with this?
I mean, I'm anticipating that he's going to go Cloaked Banshee, go gas, barracks, factory, gas.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
That makes a lot of sense. Very recently, Cloak Banshees became much more viable due to the, I guess you could call it a buff to the cost of the Cloak upgrade. Makes those Banshees...
such a roundabout way to say it.
That's like the way I speak English, though. I hear myself say it, and I'm making fun of myself in my own head at the same time. This factory will get scouted, as you can see that SCV from Heart pulls in here nonchalantly, walks out, gets all the necessary information. Actually, I say that, and to be honest with you, I think I would have... would you check on the gas? Would the second gas already be taken, or does that not matter, I guess?
Well, I mean, normally I'd say the second gas should be taken. Going for this reactor first, though, I think really is going to throw Masa heavily down into the side of things where he's... Well, there's a second gas. I mean,
he scouts it anyways. Is this a fake? Because that reactor's really weird, right?
Yeah, that reactor's throwing me off. I'm trying to identify...
Yeah, it's a fake.
Oh, nice call, yeah. Things weren't adding up if he's going early reactor and early second gas is kind of... So let's see how Heart reacts. I mean, what Heart may very well do is, you know, sort of blindly go, oh, okay, well, second gas, Cloak Banshee. This is looking far more like a Marine medevac play.
Yeah. Marine Medevac Hellion is what I would say. And with that build, you can challenge. In fact, I think this build's designed to collapse on any kind of Banshee build because a lot of times those Banshee builds have very low unit counts behind it. So the idea is you're going to do a lot of damage with your Marines and Hellions, elevate them up into the base, past the wall in, and capitalize on the fact that your opponent probably has a Banshee mid-map. So as long as you make things like a Widow Mine or a Viking or something of that nature, you'll be able to stabilize and defense and just do more damage on the other side.
So right now, Hart is gearing up to get his starport with Tech Lab down. Looks kind of like he ordinarily would look like he's going to be going Raven first, but he may very well go Banshee Cloak first, trying to pair with his opponent. That's what we're going to see.
Yep.
Oh, Masa's mind game seems to have succeeded, so Masa himself is going to be going for very, very fast drop play with this medevac. He's going to push the front. He's going to get there long before that Banshee's ready to go.
And depending on how you handle this Widow Mine as Masa, it can do very little to no damage, or it can do tremendous damage. If it hits the medevac and the medevac gets popped off by a couple of Marines, that's game-ending kind of damage because there's such an investment going on for both these players. But this medevac mid-map is going to get spotted by the SCV from Hart. Hart needs to buy that guy a steak frickin' dinner because he has just saved him a tremendous amount of heartache. Oh, I didn't even mean for that pun. It's just terrible. The Marines, however, are just going to back away. Widow Mine sitting there just outside of range, and here come the Marines.
Oh, this is going to be kind of a close call because right now Masa is in kind of a better position. I mean, he spotted the Banshee. He knows exactly where it's at. It's hard now for Hart to do any damage with this attack. And now Masa's just going to be pulling every which way and what way. I mean, if he's been very perceptive, he's going to avoid this Widow Mine by sending in a single Marine. No!
Yeah,
Oh, he eats
a little
it
bit sad.
hard.
It doesn't kill all of them, but it definitely bruises and bleeds them pretty good. And essentially nullifies this attack. Like, if I look at this now, Moss's damage output is a lot lower than it was otherwise. But he still has the stronger force, so you can see Hart's just trying to buy time because he needs these extra units to come out. He has another Banshee coming out, and that Banshee could be the answer. Meanwhile, his Banshee swings into the main of Masa, and Masa's going to have to at least scan to destroy it.
So there we do hear the scan go down. We see that the Banshee's repelled, command center nearing completion, and I think that in Masa's position you'd ordinarily say, yeah, it's got to be Marine tank all the way. Not seeing that quite yet out of Masa. Hart has begun his tank production quite early here. Masa, ooh, not quite getting that expansion down. It's even supply counts, but in the worker tab, we see a little bit of a lead there by Hart, and that's getting extended by these little pickoffs. The Banshee does go down. Oh my god, did I lie? Oh, that's terrible.
That hurts. And there's even this SCV out here that's like, wait a second. I just so happen to have my Banshee repair kit. Why the hell are you flying away? And they're going to go back home anyway. So anyways, we'll look at this other Banshee. It's going to pull in here. Marines moving to intercept, but the scan goes down really fast. Hart is on top of things.
Man, Hart is really on point controlling all this stuff. I mean, there is a nice edge that Hart might have this expansion done, but can't move quite yet down to his natural expansion. Hart, though, is in, I think, an overall better position, just picking away slowly. That Banshee's up to 8 kills. Not enough for a scan yet. It's almost done.
Yeah, it actually runs out of cloak, unfortunately. It's just going to feel really weird to be a Banshee. You're like, well,
I lost my identity.
Yeah, lost your identity. Strangely enough, that's a third Viking coming off the starport. I actually looked at that building time and said to myself, well, that's got to be a Raven. The forces of Moss are going to be chased out of the natural of Hart. Hart is going to establish his natural, and Masa can do the same. The Banshee threat has been reduced to none at the time, for the time being, excuse me. But he's just not, well, he's going to load it up over there now, and there goes the additional barracks. So you were correct. This should be Marine tank.
And kind of interestingly, abandoning the tank production, just moving that factory around, going for 4 barracks. Okay, it looks like it's going to be kind of a follow-up timing. A single tank from Masa for the defense. Hart is playing as by the book as you play. He's going to be using this 1-1-1 formation to do a nice little push with his Expo. He's going to be plopping down 2 additional barracks behind it. But Masa kind of has an opportunity to power up. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold this off. It's going to come down pretty heavily to this mine here.
You know, I feel like if Hart gets in here in a timely fashion, he can just run up and kill the 1 tank, and then his 3 tanks are going to be so hard to deal with.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of Marines. He does not have stim, if I'm not mistaken. He might actually... No, he does not have stim, right?
Uh-oh.
No stim. But this is going to be a really tough attack to hold off.
And there's a Raven throwing down 2 of those auto turrets. That's going to absorb so much damage, and we see Hart just tramples his way forward. He's not even going to need to use Siege.
Not even close.
Masa needed a little more time. GG. Masa falls apart in a matter of seconds. I mean, it's a game like that where you really see why that push is so standard. If you deviate from it, you run the risk of dying instantly.
Yeah, these are unupgraded Marines. These are, I mean, there's just no flash to this build. There's no reason why it's insanely awesome. It's just, as you said, very, very much so the standard. It capitalizes on its staunch defense. The Banshees allow them to kind of have a feel and a say in what's going on in the rest of the map. And basically, Hart says, you know what? You're not really in a fantastic position. You applied a lot of harass with Marine Hellion, but those aren't defensive units, and if they don't do enough damage to me, I'm going to pull ahead, and we could see that with Hart attacking here. It wasn't close, Sean. It was pretty one-sided.
So that means that we see the series going in favor of Team Axiom. Root opened up with a nice little 2-1 lead. Now it's 3-2 in favor of Axiom, and it's going to be up to Puck to tie the series up on Belshir Vestige.
And Puck is taking on Crank, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, and Crank's a very unpredictable PvP player. I mean, recently he was having a lot of problems with his motivation, feeling extremely discouraged, and had 2 losses in WCS that can only be described as leveling yourself. He was so convinced that he had lost these games because his attack didn't work. He had gone into the game having given up, and then when his attack failed, it was like, well, that's it, good game, when he had the lead in both games.
I'm going to break one of the 7 internet laws, and that is to disagree with Sean Dane on plot and say that Crank is actually predictably unpredictable. He's a very cheesy PvP player, and if you know that, you don't anticipate the standard game. You start doing things like looking for proxy gates, checking around outside of your base for proxy stalkers, and when all that's gone, then you get nervous about things like crazy fast DTs, super fast no detection blink stalkers. I have not seen Crank play a standard PvP game in a long time.
You know, I actually think that's a great point. Unpredictable, not as accurate as unorthodox. Does love to go for the 2 Stargate Phoenix follow-up after a sort of surprise early expand or a surprise cheese, as you say, but he never just builds Immortals and Archons and attacks. And Puck, I really think, he's kind of like a mix between a minigun and a Korean Protoss.
Yeah.
Does love the Colossus, but absolutely well tuned into this kind of Archon Immortal standard.
Puck's one of my homies. Puck's been doing a really good job training in that house and improving their play. We've seen some great WCS results. Of course, with the nature of WCS and how volatile it is, you can kind of go up and down there. But Puck could do this. We could see an ace match out of this match. And again, if you ever thought you'd see Axiom versus Root go to ace match, or as you said earlier, even trailing 1-2 at one point in time, and with Grubby taking the only win, this has been a great competitive match. So let's see if Puck can push it to ace match, because otherwise, if Crank, the captain of Axiom, does come through with yet another clutch PvP win, Axiom will win 4-2 and improve to 4-2, which will put them in a great position to perhaps move on and be in the top 4 for SC2L. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, it's going to be that PvP. We'll see you soon.